I'm going to talk about 5 strategies that can help you live a better life. I know this is like a really broad thing to say, and you don't have to do all 5 of them. The intention is to just pick out what works for you and try it out. Breathe the right way. Okay, so just pause, okay, and observe your breath. Is it a deep breath or is it a shallow breath? Are your shoulders drooping or are you straight? The thing about breathing is just like bad incidents make your breath shallow. You can actually get into a better emotional state by breathing deeper. It helps you lower your blood pressure and helps you lower stress levels, helps you feel less anxious. So the next time that you think that you're caught in this, like you're feeling really anxious, try to take a deep breath. There was this one time that I haven't really spoken about it, but I kind of got a panic attack in like a really famous market in the city that I live in. And I was all alone. And I just stood on the side and kept taking deep breaths, and it wasn't helping. Just wasn't. A minute later, I started to feel a lot better, and then I realized that okay, I'm getting a panic attack because of the stories I'm cooking in my head. It's not the reality. Yeah, it's a good point to observe your breath. It's also a good point to actually do a breath check, as I like to call it, which is that every hour, just see how are you breathing. Sometimes you slouch and then you tend to have shallow breaths, and then it also like impacts your focus and your stress level. So just sitting up straight and taking a few deep breaths and getting into that rhythm is helpful. Also, another thing that we don't realize is that we have to breathe from our tummy and not our chest. Just notice if you're breathing from your tummy, you have to inhale and then your tummy expands, and exhale and your tummy contracts. So I know this is like really basic, but we end up breathing from our chest so often that it is unhealthy. So I hope you can keep a check on that as well. We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. The thing about content consumption is that it's become so normalized to consume absolute shit today. And what we don't realize is that what we're seeing is what we're thinking. What we're thinking is actually going to impact our belief systems, how we view ourselves, how we look at the world, and that impacts our reality. So it's not something really small. If you are constantly on Instagram and you're looking at these influencer accounts, you will always feel less rich, less pretty, and less successful. And feeling inadequate is not a good place to be in. So it's important to be mindful in what content that you're consuming. It's optimum room temperature. So a lot of people don't get a full night's sleep and they don't realize that the room temperature really helps all of us. If sleep is an issue, then fixing a temperature may help. For instance, a lot of people find cooler temperatures easier to sleep in, but I am that person who even takes hot water showers when Delhi is burning at 45 degrees. So I like my room temperature to be nice and warm at all times. So figuring out your optimum room temperature may be super helpful. Put your perspective glasses on. I mean, the reality is that a lot of bad things happen in life and there's no way around it. Regardless of what your situation is, bad things just happen to us. Now, you can either dwell in it, think about it, think of it day and night, overthink it, think of all the things you should have done and should have said, but it's not going to change what's already happened, right? It's obviously natural to feel angry and feel upset, and I think you should totally feel those emotions but also acknowledge them and get past it and just change your perspective. Now, I don't mean to preach toxic positivity, but I personally look at all situations and just think that okay, everything happens for a reason, and my faith is so strong that good things will come to me. Good and bad things happen, but your perspective about things is something you can always change. And I think that's a superpower we have that we don't practice often. So just looking at life with a more optimistic perspective is helpful. Obviously, you can be cynical, you can be negative, you can preach that you can find a lot of excuses, but how does that help? Let go of what no longer serves you. According to science, letting go of your anger and your past and everything that's bothering you significantly improves how you feel. Another thing that is scientifically proven to improve your quality of life is to practice forgiveness. I anyway feel like this is just something I've been practicing since I was a kid, because I think some teacher said this, is that anger and resentment are such strong emotions, and the only thing that they consume like is your energy. The other person doesn't care. And I think like something like this deserves an entire video, so just got a video idea. Keeping these negative emotions is only impacting you and draining your energy. So why not let go of what no longer serves you? I have somebody who hurt me, who I confronted her this year after 2 years of just feeling sad about what she did. And even when that happened, only I got closure. She did not quite bother. So I think that was a good slap on my face to realize that just because you are invested in a friendship doesn't mean the other person is equally invested, and they may find it easy to let go of you. And that's okay. Not everyone has to love us as much as we love them. Letting go of that negativity, it's going to help me, whereas keeping that negativity is only draining me. I know it's not easy, but at least work to let go of it, because keeping it in your heart is not benefiting you in any way. And if at all, it's only pulling you down. So, lastly, life is not easy and shit happens. But I hope these tools help you navigate through the ups and the downs and just life in general. I hope you enjoyed this, and please subscribe to my channel. It motivates me to make more videos. Thank you and have a nice day.